Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not the Porsche 911 GT3 is a supercar. Well, I owned a 2015 911 GT3, but sold that car when I purchased a Ferrari 458. Now I owned it for, about 6 months. And one of the things that always bothered me about the GT3 was whether it was really a supercar. So I went online to try and do a little bit of fact finding to see what is the real criteria for a car to be considered a supercar. Now, I'm not an expert, so the stats and the information that I'm gonna be talking about, if you guys disagree with it or I'm wrong, drop me some comments and let me know. I just went out and did a little bit of research, so I'm giving y'all my opinion, and that's all it is. It's just my opinion. All right, so back to what I was talking about. So I went online and did some research. There are 4 things that I believe a car should have in order to be considered a supercar. Number 1, high performance. Number 2, limited production. Number 3, the car has to be manufactured by an elite maker of automobiles. And then number 4, it should have a wow factor. Now, before we talk about the GT3, whether or not it possesses those 4 characteristics, let's talk about my Ferrari 458, just as a comparison. So number 1, high performance. Well, the Ferrari 458 has 562 horsepower, 398 pound-foot of torque. 0 to 60, 3.4 seconds. Top speed, just a hair under 200 miles an hour. And it revs to 9,000 RPM. It has a 4.5 liter naturally aspirated V8. The 458, although in my opinion, not a hardcore track weapon, it certainly is a high performance car. It certainly can hold its own on the track. Let's move on to number 2, limited production. From my research, the Ferrari 458 was made from 2010 to 2015. And in that 6-year period, Ferrari produced between 15,000 and 18,000 458s. And that is split between coupes and spiders. So if we even look at the high side of that, 18,000 units, that would only be 3,000 units per year. That's limited production. When you think about a car maker and the number of cars or sports cars that car manufacturer makes. So certainly has limited production. Number 3, Ferrari. Ferrari is probably one of the most iconic brands out there. The LaFerrari, the F40, the F50. I believe Ferrari certainly is an elite automaker. And then number 4, the wow factor. Everywhere I take that 458, people are staring, taking pictures, interested in the car. Whether I'm driving it on the road, whether it's parked at a restaurant, whether I'm running an errand in it, it always captures a lot of attention from everybody. So I certainly believe it has that wow factor. I've not owned another car that demands or gets that type of attention as the 458 does. So I think the 458 checks all 4 categories. Now let's move on to the GT3. High performance. 500 horsepower, 339 pound-foot of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, top speed 193 miles per hour, and it revs to 9,000 RPM as well. Has a 4.0 liter flat six engine. And the GT3 has DNA from the Porsche GT3 Cup car. So it has a pretty good racing pedigree. So certainly high performance. Number 2, limited production. Now from my research, Porsche produced or started producing the GT3 in 1999. And since 1999, they've produced 14,000, I believe, GT3s and GT3 RSs and variations of the GT3. So that's very limited production again. I mean, 14,000 since 1999 is very, very, very limited production. Also, you can't just walk into a Porsche dealership and ask to buy a GT3 brand new. Normally, they only have a couple of allocations. I mean, the bigger Porsche dealerships may have a few more, but your smaller Porsche dealerships, they may get 2 allocations, 3 allocations a year. And those allocations are divvied out to their very best clients, people who have bought multiple Porsches from them, whether it be in the 911 range, or whether it be the Cayenne range, or the, you know, any of their cars. They buy a lot of their cars. So the average person is not going to be able to walk into a Porsche dealership and spec a GT3 from the ground up and order it. So again, that goes back to very limited production. Number 3, elite car manufacturer. Porsche, in my opinion, certainly is an elite car manufacturer. Again, when you talk about the 918 Spider, the Porsche Carrera GT, Porsche 911 GT2 RS, 3 RS, and let's not forget the Porsche 911 Turbo, which is probably a supercar category as well. Number 4 is where I have a concern, is the wow factor. My previous GT3 that I owned, it didn't really attract a lot of attention. And not that I was wanting a lot of attention, I just thought, I knew how special the car was, and but most people, since it looks just like well, not just like, but it's in the family of the 911 Carrera, minus the wing. That's what most people look at it as. And of course, Porsche makes thousands and thousands of 911 Carreras in all of its variants. So I don't believe the GT3 really gets the wow factor, at least not in my experience. But certainly the other 3 of the 4 categories, it nails them, definitely gets the check mark, but I think it misses the boat on the wow factor. Having said that, I still think it's a bona fide supercar. Hey, what do you guys think? What do you think of the GT3? Do you think it's a bona fide supercar? Drop me some comments and let me know what your opinion is. I'm really interested in knowing. Okay guys, I'm going to be signing off. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this video. I hope it was helpful, at least to get my insight on whether or not the GT3 is a supercar. Seeing that I'll be getting a new one in March of 2019. So I'm extremely excited about that. So I just wanted to share that. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing and share the video. But until the next one, guys, stay peace.